Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
First down.
Yellow. There's a line. 59. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Contact.
Here's a handoff to Connor. Malcolm Jenkins and the Eagles in on the tackle. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last three being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Mahomes to his KC teammate Kelsey for the AFC first. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents, thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and then last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone, and touchdown! DeAndre Hopkins, 42 yards. And the AFC has taken the early lead. So the AFC, they won the Pro Bowl the last couple of seasons and off to another good start here.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game, how many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Now Brees escapes the sack. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination, though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition.
This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. Julio Jones. 49 yards. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And it's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They go play fake. Mahomes. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to... You want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the AFC in possession of the football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. He was brought down by the Bears safety, Eddie Jackson.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mahomes firing complete, and past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now Gordon on 1st down. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A. in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham. Nickname, Automatic.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Landry, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during the...
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now Mahomes to the goal line, but it's incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. So on 4th down, out comes Jason Myers for the AFC field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. This is the Rams' Todd Gurley, his 3rd Pro Bowl in 4 seasons. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley. 3rd down here. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Open man is Thielen, it's complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Roses to add the extra point. And oh, he missed it. It's no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top.
This 2019 Pro Bowl at the break.